Time now for the markets with Leighton. And Leighton, you say the country that eats more pork than any other country is coming to our table?
That's right, Artis, and the U.S. will soon resume exports to this nation, and we'll tell you who it is in a moment. Also ahead this week in the markets, seines are full as catfish processing steps up. Cattle herds get bigger due to rapid herd expansion, and Cuba buys U.S. chicken once again. We begin with a snapshot of the catfish market during the month of September, a market with falling prices. U.S. producers received a pond-bank price of $1.14 per pound for premium-sized live fish, down 7 cents from a year ago. Farm sales totaled close to 28 million pounds round weight, up 2% from September 2014. Processor sales were up a little more, 4.5%. Compared to a year ago, they topped 13 million pounds. The monthly Cattle on Feed report indicates expansion in the beef sector, but the World Health Organization upstaged these recent numbers with its addition of red meat to their list of things that cause cancer. It's all in our market interview that starts now. Extension Ag economist Brian Williams has been looking over the October 23rd USDA update. And Brian, was this report considered bearish or bullish as far as cattle?
Well, just looking at the report itself, I'd say it was neutral to maybe slightly bearish. Looking at some of the numbers, placements were down 4.1%. That was a little bit higher than expected, but not too far off. Marketings were down 2.4%, which was real close to expected. And then the total number on feed was up 2.3%, which was a little bit higher than expected.
So it was, in a way, a surprise to the trade.
Well, it wasn't too much of a surprise. A lot of what we saw in this report came in real close to expected. We had a lot more heavier cattle being placed, a lot fewer lighter cattle being placed, which was kind of expected. The other interesting thing, which was still expected, was we had the lowest number of heifers on feed since the report actually started or actually began, but that indicates a rapid herd expansion, but it really wasn't too unexpected.
Now, Monday the 26th, the first trading day after the report came out, we had like triple-digit losses in part of the cattle sector. That's kind of I guess, an indication of what the traders thought.
Yeah, but I think a lot of what we saw Monday and even today, Tuesday, is that not so much the report as the World Health Organization came out with a report that really had a negative impact on the markets as well.
All right. Do you think the live cattle market itself still has some legs? What do you see as the immediate future here?
Well, in the short term, the World Health Organization's report, I think, is kind of having a negative impact in the short term, but in the long term, I think it could potentially bounce back a little bit.
Well, obviously, a big story this week, rainfall in the Mid-South and Mississippi. What is that going to mean to have pastures now that have some moisture?
Well, that's a good thing for Mississippi producers on more than one level. It should really help improve our pasture conditions. We've been suffering for a while now. But the same storm system that came through here also went through Texas and Oklahoma, which should help their winter wheat pastures. And that's really where we see a lot of our calves going from Mississippi as they go west to there as well. So that should help in more than one way.
Time to break for a trivia quiz here on Farm Week. Our question, it's about something farmers and outdoorsmen encounter in Mississippi, reptiles. Here is the quiz question. How many of the species of snakes found in Mississippi are poisonous? Is the answer 2, 4, 6, or 8? Stay with us for the answer. China imports U.S. pork again. Reuters is now reporting exports for more than a dozen U.S. processors and warehouses will resume soon. China, you'll recall, called a halt to buying U.S. pork last year over use of a feed additive called ractopamine. Meanwhile, Cuba buys U.S. chicken again. A 2-month suspension of imports attributed to the recent bird flu epidemic is apparently over. Traders tell Reuters that Cuba purchased at least 30 million pounds of U.S. chicken for delivery in October. Cuba is allowed to purchase U.S. ag goods under an exception to the trade embargo. Chicken accounts for half of all U.S. ag exports to that country. And back to the trivia quiz to wrap things up for this week in the markets. And C is the right answer. only 6 species of the snakes you can find in Mississippi are poisonous.